Welcome to the June 17th meeting of the Needham Commission on Disabilities. Um, I want to start by saying, and some of you may have just heard this, Pardee is not able to join us. She's very stressed by the bombing going on in Iran. All of her family is there, and she said she's just not getting any sleep. So please keep her and her
Yeah.
family in your thoughts and prayers. Um, and we will move ahead with the business. Karen is at a work meeting that she couldn't get out of, so she is not going to be with us, but we can go ahead and vote on her nomination to move into the role of co-chair without her being here, and we will do that. But we will start with reviewing the minutes from May 20th. I hope you all had a chance to look at them. Were there any corrections or omissions, any changes that need to be made to those minutes?
I didn't see any.
Okay, hearing none, I will accept a
motion.
motion, thank you, to accept the minutes as written.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Seconded. We will now take a roll call vote. Tatiana,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Alexa,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
and Jeannie. Yes. Thank you. Minutes are approved.
And I just heard from Felix that he got hung up at work, but he will be along.
Okay. The first order of business under Chairperson's report is to vote to approve Karen Morales as the new co-chair of Needham Commission on Disabilities. Before we vote, are there any comments, questions about this change in our leadership? I'm
I
sorry.
think Karen
I have to
will
take
make
this.
I
Hello.
think Karen will make
Hi,
a
Felix.
wonderful coach.
Thank
I
you.
will, glad you could join us. Sorry, things are hectic at work.
No, that's okay. It's budget time, so
Yes, 'tis the season. All right. Well, Jeannie just had to go. She will be back. So I'm going to try to keep things rolling along in her absence. So we were just to the co-chairperson's report, and we were voting on Karen as the new co-chair. And as you were joining Felix, Jeannie was just asking if there was any discussion or comments, and here she comes again.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I was just updating Felix, and we're right where you left. Are there any discussions or comments on Karen as co-chair?
so I have none. I haven't I can't find the agenda.
Oh, I can send it to you now if you want.
Actually, hold on. I have a Word version of it, but
Yep.
so
I
It's
think
the
she'd
first
make a
one.
great co-chair.
so did we already yes, I vote yes for Karen. Have we
Yep.
gotten into the NCOD
no,
members
no.
portion yet?
We
No,
weren't
we
quite there
were
yet.
just accepting comments on Karen's nomination.
Oh, okay.
We haven't made a
Sorry.
motion yet. Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Thank you.
I appreciate you jumping in.
If there are no comments or concerns, we will move ahead to a motion.
Well,
to-
she's not here, but I just wanted to thank her for accepting the nomination because, it's a big role and she has some big shoes to fill. So, I'm so glad that she's interested in continuing this work with us.
Absolutely. Let's note that in the minutes, Alexa, so she can see that.
I'll tell her next meeting, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't believe she's not here.
Yeah. Jeannie and I had a very lovely conversation with her about it.
Awesome.
Then I will take a motion.
I make a motion to accept Karen Morales as the incoming co-chair of the Needham Commission on Disabilities.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, Tatiana,
Yes.
Alexa,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Jeannie? Yes, and I don't see Felix on the screen, so Felix,
am
are you
here.
there?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
And I'm a yes.
thank you. Terrific. Okay, with that done, now we need to get serious about filling the 9th position on the commission. Does anyone, I know some of you had mentioned some ideas of people were going to approach. I don't know if that happened this month. Were you able to talk to anyone? I think
So
Felix,
I spoke with Jillianovsky. She is interested now.
she
She,
is?
she spent quite a while thinking about it, and she got back to me a couple days later and said that she is interested.
Mm.
That's
I'm sorry,
great.
who is that? Do we know her from something?
Yes, she's come in front of the board before. She's attended a couple of meetings. She's spoken on behalf of CPAC previously.
Yeah, this is the one, Tatiana, where you weren't there when we had the meeting at the police station and you sent your amazing staff to set up the owl and everything. And so she was there in person for that event. That's how I
Well,
remember.
that's great.
Yep, yep.
And what's her name again? I'm sorry.
Jillianovsky.
Oh,
Julie.
And is she aware of the procedure, the process of what she
I
needs
told
to
her
do
once
next?
it's posted, she has to apply, and then Miles will be in touch.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I told her that once the position is announced officially, that she'll have to apply for it and that Miles will be in touch to schedule the
Okay,
meetings,
terrific.
the appointment.
And has Miles posted it yet? I don't think
I don't
thought
think so.
yeah,
Let
I
me
thought I
just
saw
check.
it in one of the news, you need them, but then I haven't seen it in the last couple, so I don't know.
Let me just check real quick. Boards and committees opportunities. Yes, it is there.
Okay,
good.
great.
Do we know if Jill has a disability?
I believe she does, and I know her son as well. But I believe
Okay.
Jill does.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I believe her son is on the spectrum.
Yeah, I don't know what his specific disability is. I don't think we should be talking about it at a public meeting.
Right.
Oh no,
Yeah.
my question was just
Yeah, no.
because we are looking for members where we need to have a majority of members.
Yeah,
who
no,
are
I
part
think
of the
she does.
community.
I think she does fall under the disabled list as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
well, she sounds like a terrific candidate. Are there any others? That anybody else? Maureen, did you have anybody?
no, don't know anybody at the moment that
Yep.
would be appropriate.
Yeah, mine were folks whose children have disabilities, very severe disabilities, but I know that that's not really what we're looking for, so I didn't approach them.
Okay.
but if we cannot find someone who does have a disability, then we can move forward with someone who does not. But I think we need to focus on finding someone with a disability first and do a, fairly thorough job of seeking that out, but we are allowed to add a 9th member. Am I
Okay.
correct on that?
So I think the last time we spoke to Miles, he did say that we needed to follow the state structure, and we said, well, we have a hard time finding volunteers, as is. And I think that the resolution was that, they won't patrol it too hard, but that we should make every effort to try to recruit people who are part of the community.
Okay,
Okay.
Mhm.
And we talked last time that Jeannie can continue on. Karen will pick up as the chair and Jeannie will be a member until we appoint the new person.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, good.
okay, oh dear. We will move on to the discussion of the select board goals, which you should have gotten late this afternoon. I'm sorry that it arrived so late, but we did want to talk about their goals and how many of them are very much in sync with our goals. Did you have anything specific you wanted to say, Carol, about this?
Tatiana, are you able to pop them up on the screen?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up right now. 1 second.
Yep. And we have until, June 30th. So, we thought we could just take a quick look at them now, see what people's initial reactions are. And then if you have any additional thoughts between now and the end of June, you could let us know and we can connect with them. But there are,
They're looking for feedback, correct, on some of the goals?
Yeah.
Yep. And so this, healthy and socially thriving certainly relates to what we do, and, all of these things that they're mentioning, the wide range of activities, et cetera, being, economically vital, and some of the things that we've talked about have been related to, the local economy and promoting business and accessibility. Certainly being livable does. And what is the fourth goal? I think there's 4.
Accessible and connected. I think there's 6.
Oh, yeah, can you scroll down? I can only see 3 goals on the screen.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
So
sorry.
let me make it bigger. Let me make it bigger first. I don't know what I did here.
Yeah, and everybody, I did send it late in the day, but everybody should have their own copy so you can take a look. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So you want me to scroll down, right? No? Let me
Yeah.
know when to stop.
Yeah. Livable. So the first 3 goals, I mentioned briefly. Livable.
Yeah.
We could look at goals 4, 5, and 6 then.
Okay, 4, 5, and 6.
Certainly.
I'm sorry, I think I went by too fast, right? So are you still on the first category, healthy and social thriving?
No, I had mentioned the first 3. I was wanting to look at 4, 5, and 6, goals 4, 5, and 6.
Here?
Yeah, accessible and
No.
connected, that
Okay.
certainly does. We've talked about some of these things, transportation needs, certainly being, safe does. I mean, a lot of our initiatives relate to some of these things. And what was the 6th one?
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's all right. I should pull out my own copy. Yeah.
Responsibly governed.
Responsibly governed. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 7. Look at that.
Environmentally sustainable.
So anyway, we just wanted to take a quick look at this and see, if there was any feedback, related to these goals. I certainly think that they, look good and relevant, and, and most of them align to what we do.
Yeah, and at the end, there are the action items of what they are going to tackle first. I thought that was interesting. The top priority.
Yeah.
This celebration on the town common has been on the top of their list. They really want something like a dance party or some sort of party that brings the community together.
So, but it would be important that everybody can participate in the dance party. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to get some input.
Yeah. One of the advantages is that my department falls under the office of the town manager, who's primarily responsible for the execution of the school. So we're always working in tandem with trying to identify what, if anything, we can provide input with.
Okay. All right. I mean, we don't need to belabor the point, but we just thought it was important that we just took sort of a group look at these. And if anybody, has any inputs or thoughts, please let us know. We have the opportunity to provide some input and feedback.
Any comments now from anyone? If not, we will move on to the final item under the chairperson's report, and that is just a reminder of the upcoming community access monitor training in September and then again in October. Pardee had signed up for one. I'm hoping that she'll still be able to participate.
Can I ask a question unrelated to this, just jumping back? If we do have feedback on the plan, on the, select
goals.
board's priorities, who do we send that to? Do we send that through to you, Carol and Jeannie, or do we get
I would
back
send it
direct?
through. Yeah, I would send it through to Jeannie and to me, since we're co-chairs for now. And then we can, put any other feedback that we get in one communication and forward and let them know here's all the feedback.
Okay, good. Because I haven't really had much of a chance to look through them thoroughly. So I think I might have some feedback, but Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. This was, we didn't attach it, with the agenda and it was late this afternoon. So, please do take a look. I mean, I think it's important and there was a lot of thought that went into it and it does relate to what we do. So would love to have, people's perspective and any suggestions that you might have. So thank you.
Yeah, and I think in the email from Katie, from the deputy town manager, soon to be town manager, they want to hear back not only from board and committee members, but also for department managers, and then thoughts about, the current initiatives that they have on in front of the board. And yet they do want anything, any kind of feedback sent back to Katie and Miles by June 30th.
Right.
Okay.
Great. Then we will move along to the ADA liaison report. Tatiana?
Yeah, I was hoping to hear more about the 339 Chestnut Street, but I don't have an update. Maureen, have you heard anything further on that property?
No, but
No.
I don't think I would. I
Yeah.
don't, yeah.
Felix, anything that you have heard on
No.
No, yeah, we don't really have an update on that. Seems to all be going well. We provided our feedback. We got our questions answered. So I think until, they ask us to weigh in on any more issues, we're good to move on. Then I did want to talk about the budget, as you all know. Let me just pull this up. Our budget consists of $550 for numerous different initiatives, food for events, printing and mailing, which we don't do a lot of, any office supplies, et cetera, and also the liaison stipend. So I just wanted to give a quick update that with the initiative that parties worked on with the CAT, $500 of a little under that was spent in the food, which was $307, and $199, which is the remaining balance of the 500, will be going to the Carroll Center for the Blind for the speaker of the event. That was the low vision lunch event that they hosted, I believe back in March. It's been a minute. I'm still working with the Carroll Center for the Blind and getting an invoice. I'm not sure why I'm having so much trouble, but the money has been encumbered so that we don't have an issue, because we're quickly running out of time to pay bills for this fiscal year.
Yeah.
But I'm continue to work with them with Tina Laffer on getting an invoice on the charges. So again, to recap, it was $190 for the Carroll Center for the Blind, and then $307 for the food provided for the lunch. That leaves us with a balance of around $50 that will be returned back for the end through the end of the year. And as you all recall, we did ask for additional money for the budget for next year for some more programming. So we should work on trying to come up with initiatives for that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Do you want to mention the Kate Fitzpatrick going away party that we got the note about on June 26th, that all
Yes.
committee chairs and members are welcome to attend?
Thank you for that. Kate Fitzpatrick has been with the town of Needham for 34 years and has been serving in the capacity of town manager for 23 of those years, and will finally retire on July 4, 2025, passing the baton along to the newly elected town manager, who will take office effective July 5th. Katie King. Katie King currently serves as our deputy town manager and will be moving on to becoming the new town manager. And for one, I am thrilled. I've worked with Katie for, the entire time that she's been in Needham, which is around 5 years. And I think the world of her. I think hers and Kate's, leadership has been tremendous for my career and for many others within the town. She is, she's hosting a party herself on her retirement, which is taking place on June 26th at the Needham Country Club. It starts at 4. I think it goes from 4 to 6. And yes, boards and committee members are encouraged to attend. There's going to be some people speaking. There's going to be some guest speakers. Her daughter is helping plan the party as well, so she'll be here. She currently acts as the deputy town manager, town administrator in the town of Westwood. She is, like I said, working with the town management to plan all of these fun events, and we look forward to seeing you all there to wish our town manager good luck in her retirement. We're all very sad to see her go.
Mm,
And unfortunately, I'm not going to be here next week because I had this trip planned for a very long time, and I'm regretting, but it's bad timing, but I have plenty of time to say goodbye to her on my own.
mm.
So yeah, thank you for that. It's at the Needham Golf Club. And like I said, it's from 4 to 7. If you're trying to plan to be there for the speeches, they'll start around 5 o'clock.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We will move on to the committee updates. Sorry. No, that's wrong. Updates on current initiatives. I got it. Maureen, any updates on an article about autism training and other COD activities?
Yeah, when I saw that on the agenda, I actually contacted Karen because we started talking. I have talked to Fred Lalonde from the Observer in the past about the autism welcoming training. And we held off because we didn't have anybody actually trained yet. And then we decided to expand and maybe just make it an article about the committee and all we do. Karen was going to contact the Observer to pitch that story. And when I saw it on the agenda, I kind of asked Karen if she needed me to reach out, or if she had reached out. She then reached out to Fred and texted her, and I was on that text chain. So we're waiting to hear back from her. So I don't have
Okay.
any big report, but we're on the radar screen. I threw in a couple of other, like the Good Neighbor Award that we just started, and that we have grants available, and that there's the autism. She knows about the autism welcoming training. So we thought kind of pitching it more as an educational piece, just to sort of say, we're here and this is what we do. And so hopefully they'll go for it. But I'll let you know via email or when we do get the response from Fred.
Good.
Or
Well,
Karen will.
get started, and that's a good sign.
Yeah.
We were hoping to finalize the survey for the Good Neighbor Award and begin to distribute it. I don't know, do we need to wait till fall for that now with Karen not here?
No, so I apologize. I should have put that on my agenda item. The survey was given to the Director of Communications. She's going to be creating a form so that we can link to our website so that people can start using it effective July 1st.
Oh,
Everyone, I apologize. I have to go to a city council budget hearing.
No worries. Thank you for joining. Good
Of
to
course,
see you.
sorry to
Yep.
run.
All right.
Thank you.
did you have any updates on accessible parking?
No, nothing right now.
Okay, thank you.
So that will be, I understand you won't meet until, until the fall, but if you wanted to take a vote to empower the chair to allow me to make that public, I can work on that on July, like effective July 1st.
Yes, let's do that.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a good plan. So I need to receive a motion.
To empower the chair to authorize me to make the survey public on the website for the Good Neighbor Award and publicize it.
Did you get
It's
that,
a
Alexa?
mouthful.
I'll make that motion.
Did you get the wording?
Alexa, you good there? Yeah. Your amazing self. Okay.
And a second of that motion?
I second it.
Okay, roll call vote. Carol,
Yes.
Tatiana,
Yes.
Maureen,
Yes.
Alexa,
Yes.
Jeannie? Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, that'll be great to get that going. I think that's actually sort of good just to have it sort of out there and, if that other publicity that we were just talking about happens and we could, fold that in.
Right. You can direct people to the website and that would be really nice.
Yep.
The next item is the survey, not the survey, the visiting of Needham shops. Carol, were you able to do any of that? And was it Alexa you were going to do it with?
It was Maureen and I,
Yes,
and,
Maureen.
and we need to connect. So I am,
Now,
yeah, I am available. I had my second knee is done as of a week ago. So
oh,
I'm
wow.
yeah. So
Yes.
You're doing two? I didn't know you were doing two.
yeah. So anyway,
I forgot
Oh,
to ask, how did
Yeah.
the second one go?
Good, very well. So I'm doing well, but I'll, so I'm going around with my walker and my cane for the next, 3 weeks. I'm home. So whatever works for your schedule, I'm here.
okay.
So
Okay.
let me
Well,
know.
I think it makes sense to have this as a summer project and,
Perfect. Yeah.
you've got
Okay.
a couple of months.
We were just going to contact one business to see how the conversation goes is all, just to sort of
Yeah.
target the conversation,
Test it out.
see if we can get any traction, since we haven't otherwise. Surely we can make an
Okay.
impact between the two of us.
And then we do not have a report from Pardee as she is away. I don't know that anyone else has heard of any other upcoming programs that we want to be involved with at the center.
No, I mean, certainly that is a good place to go, for programs and thinking ahead to
Yeah.
planning our Monday, planning the funding that I believe we're going to get. We had also talked about having a speaker come to the library. That's another option. So, we can all, think about what might be, impactful and meaningful to the community.
Okay, now on to committee updates. I did hear from Stephanie that no one was able to attend, and I asked if they had any issues that they wanted us to think about over the summer, and she said no. So they are good for now. I'm thinking that we might want to encourage them to write another grant in the fall. We certainly have the funds, and I feel like that's a good use of our money.
Mm.
As well as obviously encouraging the rest of the community, but
I'll make a note to bring what's left on the funds on the parking fund for that's available for grant award.
How do those come in? I mean, do those come at once a year? Is that I know they're directly related to the tickets for the handicap parking spots, but how frequently does that money come in or
That money
does
comes in
it
whenever
work?
a ticket is paid.
it's rolling.
It is, okay, so it's just ongoing.
Yeah. And of course, the better job we do at not parking where we shouldn't be, the less money we take.
I know, good news, bad news.
But it's been pretty steady, so I'll make a note to bring that to the next meeting.
Great.
I was even thinking for the Observer article, if they agree to run it, I thought it'd be nice, might be nice to sort of include a picture of either the equipment from, maybe the equipment from the schools that we purchased, that they applied for the grant for or something to show what the money has gone for.
Yeah.
Might be interesting.
And the ramps at the council,
Yeah, we could do.
which don't
Sure.
seem like, when I was there last week, two of them were there. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much they're getting used. I would think if people knew about it, they'd be
We
flying
did
out the
publicize
door.
it in our newsletters, and we have a lot of people that get those. And it's a high. We have a good open rate on our communications when we send out the emails. So we'll certainly put it in again, but no, they haven't been taken yet.
But that would be a good thing to include in our newspaper article if we get it.
Yeah.
Yep. And Maureen and I can mention that as we go around as well. So.
Yeah, and the picture of the wheelchairs too that we got for the center, that's also on our website.
Okay, moving on. Officer Kelly, did you have any comments on accessible parking around town?
I have nothing. I haven't been working the last 2 weeks, so I haven't been really around in town. So nothing to update.
Diversity, oh, that's Lynn.
I can do that one. That we did have the Race Amity Day on June 8th. I don't know if anybody was able to go. And the rededication of the Richard Fry Memorial at Avery Field. So that happened. And they're continuing their weekend visibility get-togethers. I forget what they're calling them, but at the Heights. So that's all the updates I have.
And Maureen, I assume there's nothing new on local emergency planning.
No, I'm going to reach out to her one more time. I'm guessing at this point, since they haven't met for several months now, that they're probably not going to meet until the fall. Hopefully that'll give them the time to get those bylaws or whatever, get that committee reorganized and up and running.
Internally, we
comment.
have been meeting, department, like staff-wise on the Emergency Operations Center.
Yeah.
But so, to come up with policies, protocols, do tabletop exercises, understand our roles and define our, strategy for emergencies, but it's all internal. So yeah, maybe just to check in to see when that local emergency planning committee will research.
Okay.
Well, we don't have Felix to see if there were any further thoughts on the Needham Envision Center project. I don't know if any of you have heard anything. I get it is put off.
Yeah.
The decision has been put off until the fall.
Mhm.
That's all I know.
Yep.
Yeah, the people have spoken. I guess they listened and are going to take another look at it. I know they added a member too. I saw the headline. I don't know anything about it. So I know that was also another concern that there wasn't enough of a business owner presence on that committee. And I think they have brought somebody else on. So that's good.
And then the issues at the YMCA buildings, the access concerns.
I'm not familiar with this. Was there a new issue?
It's not a new issue. It's just a follow-up from
Kalpana.
Kalpana brought it up. So I think we gave sort of the guidance when she was on the phone with us that
Okay.
last time. So I think we can close those out.
Okay. So we have the summer ahead of us. What kinds of things do we want to be thinking about over the summer?
I think we should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Go
I was just
ahead.
gonna ask if there's anything we need to cover about the Halloween, accessible Halloween, since it'll be.
I was gonna ask about that. I'm not sure what, if anything, has been done on that front. And the next time we meet will be a month before Halloween.
You're right. Well, the last I heard from Reverend John Gage was that they were inflexible on the date. So they're going to go ahead and have it. I'm not sure what the date is, but it's the same date where these other events are going on in town. So we are
Mhm.
not able to call on the police, and some of the extra activities that Kelly had mentioned might be possible. That doesn't mean that we still can't partner with the church,
Right.
but what shape that's going to take, I really don't know. Because it's my church, I'm willing to reach out, and I've forgotten the woman's name again over the summer. She wasn't, she didn't seem ready to talk about it. I guess it must have seemed too far ahead, but now, as you said, time is flying, and here it is June already. I will reach out to her over the summer and to Reverend John and see if there's even some small things we can do to, I don't want to say improve, but make it as accessible as possible for all.
Did you mention that there was like a special sensory friendly hour or something that was already part
Yes,
of it?
that has always been the case. Well, I shouldn't say
Okay.
always, for the last 3 or 4 years, they have designated the first hour as sensory friendly, where there's no loud noises, there's no scary costumes, but they still have a Halloween experience for those, who could benefit from that kind of environment. So that will be there, but if we want to extend that in some way, we need to work with the parent group and the church to see what that might entail.
Officer Kelly, didn't the police department do like a sensory friendly event there too? I wonder, I mean, I know that you're not available on that day, but were there any sort of like lessons learned or things that were wildly popular that we could consider recommending for the Halloween event?
We had it a few months ago, and it's a really big event. Again, sensory friendly, no fire trucks, bells, whistles, no police, no horns. That we kept it really quiet. We felt that more of the general public came versus the sensory children. You know, it was this. To me, I think it should have been closed a little more.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like if we're trying to cater to all these kids with the noise and the water and the sand and the ice cream and all that stuff, then you got kids coming out of soccer and just bombarding the event. And that's the only thing that I felt that there was an issue. So then it gets loud, you know.
Mm.
But yeah, so that's the only thing. And you can't tell anybody no, you can't come in,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, that's hard.
Maureen, you saw it. It was packed.
Yeah, it was crowded.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way to kind of, I don't know what language can be included in the invitation that's like, very, really geared for people with sensory issues or targeting that group. But yeah, you don't want to exclude anybody, but it
Yeah.
would be nice to discourage just the typical soccer players that are coming, that's not really who it's for.
Right,
That
exactly.
it's a
And
nice
they have,
event, and
and it's for the general public in October, we have a huge open house and it's open to everybody. And
Mm.
that is twice as
Yeah.
packed.
And you're very successful with that event, right?
Very, yes.
Yeah.
So it's just getting the word out to, I mean, we did post a banner in front of the station, Inclusion Day, try
Yeah.
to do it politically correct. I think some of the parents got it, but then, like I said, the soccer gets out and all that stuff, and people just show
Yeah.
up anyways. So,
Okay. Anything else we want to think about over the summer?
I know there'll be the harvest fair, will be coming up probably very late September. And I don't know if we want to think about whether we want to have a presence there or materials available there, anything like that about us.
Kelly usually takes the brochures and puts them on her table
Okay.
because she gets a lot more traffic then.
yeah, I put it on the community outreach table that's
Okay.
right next to me with the dogs.
Okay. So maybe we can do that again this year if everybody agrees.
Yep.
That's a really well attended event. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just think about, a speaker topic, if anybody, sees anything happening somewhere else that we could invite, to the library. The CAF is always a good fallback position, but there could be somebody inspirational that you might hear about or think about. So keep your eyes open.
mm. Okay.
Okay, well, have a wonderful summer, everyone.
Yes.
Too.
You too.
Thank
I'm
you.
available to all of you if anybody needs anything.
Me too.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Let's see you.
everyone.
All right.
Bye. Have a good summer.
All right.